Hello and welcome to Coog Cinema Reviews. Happy New Year! Welcome to 2018. We, however, are going to take just a couple minutes to go back to 2017 and count down the best and worst animated films of 2017. 2017 was a year of very mixed emotions and chaotic atmospheres. The world of animated movies did not hesitate to reflect this confusion. 2017 did not give us a lot of great animated movies. However, the very select few that were good were really great. But the many that were bad were, well, really, really bad. For the most part though, many of the animated features that 2017 gave were at best mediocre wastes of time. With that said, God help us all. Let's count down the worst 5 animated movies of 2017.
Number 5, Captain Underpants.
Tra-la-la!
You know, this film I went with low expectations, but I was surprised by the kind of innovative animation, and the storyline is not that great. I've never read the books before, but it kept me entertaining, but in the end, it's not a great film. I think the voice work with Kevin Hart was very funny and everything, but in the end, just the story was kind of slow to me, not that entertaining, and Captain Underpants was the actual character quite disappointing. I expected to see more of him because he's the actual title of this film.
Wow, he is super dumb.
Number 4, The Star. Sony Animation has put out a lot of movies this year, and this was just one that, again, it was a miss. It takes place, it's basically about the story. It's a new take on the kind of nativity kind of story. It takes place during Christmas time, and what it focuses on though is the animals, is the key twist of it. And yeah, it just was not an extraordinary movie to watch. The animals were like, all right, in terms of comedy. Plot and story and everything was just very average. There's nothing offensive in it, but it's just not good, you know? Number 3, The Nut Job 2.
Nuts.
First off, why is there a Nut Job 1? And second off, who asked for the Nut Job 2? The Nut Job 1 was bad enough, and now we have a sequel with the Nut Job 2. Are you kidding me? And just because Jackie Chan voices a bunny in this movie does not mean that this movie could pass as a decent movie. First off, the story is extremely just bland and uncreative, and it's so, like, why is this movie being made? The characters are obnoxious. The voice actors don't do a good job of it's not that they don't do a good job of what they're given, it's what they're given is just not very good. But yeah, this movie is terrible. I don't recommend watching it. It has no educational value, and it's the sequel that none of us ever wanted. But thank you for that, nut job people.
Meet my new friend, Mr. Fang.
Oh, he's so cute.
Number 2, we put the Emoji Movie, of all movies, at number 2. Once again, another movie made by who? Sony Animation Studios.
So much.
Yeah, Sony, I don't know what you're up to, buddy, but yeah, Emoji Movie was very terrible. We both kind of felt like it's not the worst animated movie ever made. It's terrible, but it's not the worst animated movie ever made. And the stories were all ripped off from previous elements of work. The character designs were the animation was, it was decent. But the storyline was very cliche, it was predictable, it was very cookie cutter, just nothing special to it. And the product placement was all over the place, and it wasn't like clever product placement. It was, here's one product placement, let's go to another place, and here's more product placement. And oh, if 2017 is anything, it was the year of the dang emojis. But thank God that's over. Before we get to our worst pick, Sol's gonna handle our dishonorable mention.
The dishonorable mention of animation this year was The Boss Baby, with, we have the talented Alec Baldwin, but we have him playing a baby, a boss baby, and I give credit to this film because, you know, it's something interesting, you know, it's a fresh idea. It's not, you know, a sequel, something fresh. I appreciate something new, but at the same time, the movie was very strange. It was hard for me to follow it. It was trying to give some heart, but there was a lot of violence for some reason and a lot of plot holes that didn't make sense. The animation, they tried something new, but at the same time, it just wasn't appealing to me. And for me, the worst was the humor. The humor was so repetitive, slapstick humor, which I do not find very smart. But I know everyone has a different opinion about the humor, but personally for me, it wasn't a great film. It was okay-ish, but I do see that there was some heart in there that I appreciated, some Beatles reference, you know, songs. I like that, so that's the Boss Baby for you.
What's all the racket?
Isn't he adorable?
Oh, I've got one for you too.
What?
Bummer.
The number one worst film this year is number one, Despicable Me 3. This for me is such a sad film because I love the second Despicable Me movie. It's like one of my all-time favorite animated films. So after seeing the trailer for this movie, I was like, oh no, this is not gonna be good. This whole twin thing only works with the Parent Trap. That's it. But you know, I go see this film with a little hope and I was crushed because they tried to do two films in one. So many ridiculous storylines.
It was like 5 plots.
Yeah, pretty much. And you can't, you know, much care of each storyline because they all go so fast and there's not much of a heart there and they try to rush things. I was so disappointed by the characters, the relationship between them. It was overall, out of the 3, it was really bad. It was the worst one by far. Not everyone can do a trilogy, you can see now. So that's it, the worst one of the year, Despicable Me 3.
I like it, but not a lot. I don't like it.
Now that we can finally move on to the better half of 2017, here are the top 5 best animated movies of 2017.
Number 5, Cars 3. Again, another trilogy that we didn't ask for. Really, we didn't ask for this one. After the tragedy of Cars 2, we saw good in this Cars 3, you know? Many people call it the actual sequel to Cars that we deserved. So a quick synopsis of Cars 3, we see Lightning McQueen in kind of his last years of racing because they're coming all these new rookies, you know? They're younger and they have better equipment and all the oldies are kind of leaving because they want the fresh new thing, and it's kind of McQueen's transition onto what to do next. But in the end, you know, it wasn't great. It did provide some beautiful, spectacular animation, but in the end, it's not one of Pixar's top 5, not even close. It's entertaining, it gives, you know, some positive messages, really relevant to people in sports and athletes, but in the end, it wasn't such a strong story. But good animation.
The beach ate me.
Number 4, Leap.
I had a dream, or was it real? We crossed the line and it was on. We crossed the line, it was on this time.
So Leap is a movie that is actually kind of less well known probably on the list than a lot of the other movies. It actually came out earlier, also known as Ballerina in other countries, but it finally came out this year in August, and this movie was beautiful. The story really had so much heart and so much feeling in it. Leap is about this 2 orphans who live in an orphanage, and they both escape because they both have these dreams. The boy wants to be an inventor and the girl dreams of being a ballerina dancer, so they both run off to France and then they struggle to make their dream come true. This movie pays a very nice tribute to dancing, to ballet. It's very relatable in that aspect and it portrays it just so accurately. The story is very heartfelt and is so worth it when things happen at the end. The only gripes I had with the movie were that they were a little bit when it came to the traditional ballet, like the music they could have been playing, they could have played like actual ballet music. They do in one part, but that's it. Everything else is kind of, they do poppy kind of stuff, but it doesn't take away from the really good story that it's been written. A lot of people like to complain about the voice acting. I don't know, it's just my opinion, but I didn't think the voice acting was that bad of a thing. I thought they actually fit the characters really well. I liked Carly Rae Jepsen's performance of her character, and the girl that played the main girl was really good too. So I didn't feel they were too out of place, and that's why for me, I can guarantee that this movie is definitely in the top 5 with its slot. So definitely, if you haven't checked out Leap, go check out Leap.
Training starts at 5 a.m. Can we push to after lunch?
Number 3, the Lego Ninjago movie. Man, I was excited for this movie all year long, and when it came out, it was good. It wasn't the best Lego movie ever, but it was still a great movie. The animation was absolutely beautiful. The Warner Bros. Company that works on the Lego movies always does a phenomenal job with their animation. The story was really heartfelt. It gave nice background on its characters. The villain was believable. The relationship between Lloyd and his father was believable. Really quick, what this movie is about is there's the ninjas, the 5 ninjas, I think, plus Lloyd. They basically, Lloyd, their main enemy is this guy named Lord Garmadon. We find out that he's Lloyd's father. Lloyd is the main character, and they go through the whole kind of father-son drama type stuff throughout the movie. And they do it really well. They do it in a way that's really funny. This movie's biggest strength was the comedy and the animation of the blocks. Only flaw with it, I think, was just it could have used a little bit more character development with the ninjas themselves so that they weren't just comic relief, but everything else was spot on and it captured the spirit of the Lego movies perfectly, and it was another great addition to their lineup.
Scale of 1 to 10, how bad is it?
Oh, I'd say it's about a 7-point arm ripped off.
Number 2, the Lego Batman movie.
Yeah, you know what it is. Black and yellow, black and yellow, black and yellow, black and yellow.
Of course, we would follow the Lego movie, or another Lego movie with another Lego movie. So this movie is basically about Batman, and it takes off the character of Batman from the first original Lego movie, and it just makes the movie just about him, but with no really references to the old movie. And it's all set in Batman's world of Gotham. It deals with his characters and stuff like that. There are a couple twists and turns along the way, but basically him and the Joker have an argument because the Joker doesn't feel appreciated, and so the rest of the movie kind of tackles Batman's relationships with his fears and his struggles that he goes through. Overall, this movie was so enjoyable. It was a fun ride. The comedy is top-notch. The characters are well developed. You care and get to know about each and every one of them. They throw in great surprising twists that you're not expecting, and it is a fun Lego ride. It is a great continuation of the Lego style of making the animated movies, and it was just a breath of fresh air this year, and I'm so glad that it came out this year.
Batman, whoa!
You're darn right, whoa.
So before we go to our number 1 film, which you can probably guess, but our honorable mention is Ferdinand. This is a very famous book for kids, and it's this bull, and he's not violent at all, and he's bullied by that, but then he's found, he's saved by this little girl, and he lives with her all happy, but then he gets in a situation, and he's sent with these other bulls, and it's his journey to get back to his owner. Well, I was actually surprised with this film. John Cena, I think, I didn't expect a wrestler to do such a great job in, voice acting. I was very surprised with the heart of this film. There was a lot of it, and not only that, but it talked about some very relevant topics, and I was like, wow, did they just go there? And it made me, think in this film, and it was a lot of emotions that I liked that experience, but in the end, it's not great because, the beginning and end are quite great, but in the middle, it struggles with pacing, and the humor is not that great, and some of its characters are weak.
Maybe don't do exactly as we do.
And the number 1 film of 2017 is Coco.
Duh.
Okay, do I even have to explain this? So, Coco, it's full of, first of all, it's a love letter to the Mexican culture. You learn so much about the culture, and it honors it with its music, beautiful, characters, and the scenery, the animation. Can we talk about that animation? And it's just again, a whole roller coaster of emotions. You get sad, happy, laugh, cry, everything, and it's wonderful. It's one of Pixar's best, if not the best Pixar film, and I think it's just a great film to have this year. There's so many Hispanics in the United States that everyone's loving it, and I think it's great. From story to characters to animation, it's 10 out of 10.
Go away, you! Go!
It's just Dante.
Never name a street dog. They'll follow you forever. Now, go get my shoe.
Of all the things that 2017 has given us, let us all just take a moment to thank the fact that we were blessed with Coco this year. If you haven't seen Coco, go check it out. I don't know what rock you're living under if you haven't already watched Coco, but go see Coco. And if you want to see our review of either Coco, Ferdinand, Lego Ninjago, Cars 3, the Emoji Movie, and Despicable Me 3, you can go back and find all of those in-depth reviews and what are they called? Discussions on Coog TV's YouTube page or Facebook page. And if you haven't already checked them out, go check them out and you can see a little bit more of our specific thoughts.
So yeah, overall 2017, kind of mediocre year for animated movies, like Kiyan said, some amazing ones, but overall most of them, not really. They were okay-ish, not the worst we were seeing, well, some of them, yes. But the majority were like 6 out of 10, I would say, which it's kind of sad, but we got Coco, so.
So we're gonna do a quick now just run through of all the upcoming animated movies that are gonna come out in 2018, and we're gonna give our quick one statement kind of first thoughts about them and what we think is gonna happen with them. All right.
And count the clock.
First off, Early Man.
I don't know anything about this one. It's the stop motion one.
We'll see what happens.
I mean, I like Wallace and Gromit, so this might be good.
Isle of Dogs. This is a weird movie. I'm gonna go see it, but it looks really weird. Sherlock Gnomes. Who the...
I want it. I want to see it. It looks cute.
Oh wait, you like? Okay, it has been years since Romeo and Juliet came out.
It's been a long time.
Asked for the sequel to that? Duck Duck Goose. I think this one's full animation, right?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I've only seen the picture of it.
We'll see how it comes out, but
don't expect much.
It looks average. Animal Crackers. Have you heard about this one?
No.
I am dying to see this movie. I don't know if it's gonna be great, but I'm excited and I think it has the potential to be great. Incredibles 2. Duh! Do we need to say anything? Hype is real.
13 years for this.
We have been waiting so long for this. Pixar, you better not screw this up. Hotel Transylvania 3. Sony, you better get your stuff together because, oh man.
Might be fun. It's in a cruise.
Teen Titans Go to the Movies.
If you like the show, you might like the film. If you don't like the show, you might not be a fan of the film.
Smallfoot.
Thoughts? Not expecting much. Very average.
The Grinch.
I'm excited for it. Animation has done the lower acts, and I thought that was enjoyable. So, I mean, I don't expect it to be Coco, but I think it might be sweet.
Wreck-It Ralph 2. Duh! Yeah. Hype is real! Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. Have you seen?
Yes, the animation looks wonderful.
Yo, I'm excited.
I'm excited. I'm not a Spider-Man fan, but I think it looks very
The trailer came out like this year, and it's a year until it comes out, but I'm already counting down the days. I can't wait until it comes out.
A new experience in animation. I think it's going to be great.
All right, well, that was our quick run through of all the upcoming movies. If you want to kind of hear more of our in-depth thoughts about that, we're actually going to have a podcast come out very soon, and we're going to go into depth on our top 5 most anticipated out of this list movies that are coming out. So definitely give that a check out when it's up.
That's all we have for you guys today. Thank you so much for joining us. Make sure to follow us on Facebook, on Twitter, on YouTube. Subscribe on YouTube. Please leave a comment in the section below. Give us your top 10. 5 worst. Best 10?
Give us just your rank them for us, and tell us what you thought of us.
If you agree with us, if you disagree with us, this is a fun, geeky space, so make sure to comment.
Leave a comment letting us know which animated movies you want us to definitely do this upcoming year, and we'll review them for you, all right?
I'm Soy Carlos.
And I'm Kiyan Badkoubeh.
And we'll see you very soon.